What's going on, family? Yes, it's your cousin Jenelle Simone, and we are back for another round of the Miyake Mugler presents Friday Night Key. Boy, oh boy, do we got a show for you. And we've got awesome special guests that is coming in tonight. I'm talking about legendary, best dress, fashion. Yes, tonight we have legendary Mark Miyake Mugler.
Yes.
Woo!
Introduction.
And you came dressed tonight. Okay, I see you. I see you showing off.
Give my chance, girl. Give my chance.
See, now if I would have known, I would have put something extra on for you. You know, I would have did something.
You're a pretty girl, though. So pretty gets good. You wins with the pretty. But thank you for having me. I'm excited.
No, it's going to be a great show. And for all of you guys out there, I hope you know that this house is also international. So, we had to pull somebody all the way across the border from Canada, representing for drag realness. We got Tamar Miyake Mugler.
Hi.
Oh my God.
You look so pretty.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
You wake up like that?
Yeah. No, baby, I do not. Okay, I does not. But I'm grateful to be here now in the flesh.
Love that. Oh my goodness.
This is interesting. Because that the house. No, I don't do stuff like this.
Really?
No, I don't be doing stuff like this. So
see, that's why we have to break you out of your.
But he does have an opinion.
See.
He always has an opinion.
Yeah, I'm a behind the scenes of her.
Oh, so I'm looking forward to seeing you do something a little different. So just keep expanding and spreading yourself out tonight. And for this episode, we have our Olivia Pope of the house. We've got Roxy Miyake Mugler.
Hey y'all.
Mm-hmm. We got the voice in the sky tonight. Mm-hmm.
Girl, don't stop.
Girl, what you doing?
What are you doing?
I do not get on cam. So
there you go. Mm-hmm. Now, Roxy, I don't even do this. I just told Jenelle that I don't even be doing this. I never do stuff like this. I done it for the house. I'm doing it for you. You can get on cam if I can get on cam. I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
See, you know
look
what?
At that. Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is like the fourth show that I've done, and I would love to be on cam, but trying to run behind the scenes and be on camera, I look crazy. Like
that be the reason.
Y'all look like it's a great conversation. The whole time I'm like pressing buttons. I look like I'm not even paying attention. So I just feel like this is better for the people, so that way I'm not distracting. So they can look at y'all faces, y'all beautiful faces, and I could do the production work.
Just like a Mugler who hide in the background unless the effects is right. I get it. I get it.
Yes, it's very porcelain about the situation.
Period.
So tell me about your week. What's been going on? Tell me some good stuff about what you're doing, what you're getting into.
Child, I just got back into the office after a year and 2 months. Child, it's crazy. I counted a year and 2 months, literally. So this is the first day I've been back, and it's been challenging.
You ready for a vacation?
Already, child. I worked 8 hours. I think I worked 10 hours. I'm sorry. And I'm ready for a vacation for 2 weeks already. Like, this is not good. It's kind of like what they say, like, when you go from high school to college, it's not good to take a break. You just keep going because you get comfortable. That long time for being off of that pandemic was needed, you know what I'm saying, for safety and everything like that. But it really wasn't good because eventually we want to go back to. I was like, oh God, I was good just laying home and getting up and going to.
You was a man of leisure. I get it.
But I mean, I'm blessed. I'm grateful to be able to have a job and to be able to go into a job. But
you know that's right.
baby, I got
Let them know.
a lot of work too.
Mugler's out here working. Love it. Getting their coins about their business. I love that. Now, Tamar, tell me about you. What you've been up to? Just gorgeous. Just flawless. Give me your tips.
Bless it, y'all.
Yes.
I am so
blessed.
I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. This pandemic has been really, really, really difficult here in Canada. It's so different than the States, and a lot of you forget that we're a country. But
on it off the floor.
We've been on lockdown since February. I think the second weekend of March of last year. So it's been like 15 odd months and counting, and we are on full stay-at-home order. Everything is closed: the bank, the liquor store, and
the liquor store.
Yeah. And that's all that's open: the bank, the liquor store, and the grocery store, pretty much. So it's been a bit daunting, but I have been working on more creative things, which is great. I filmed a TV show, a scripted series, and I'm a guest starring in an episode, a Ballroom episode, along with Father Twisted Miyake Mugler.
Yes.
I also was able to shoot a short film. I have a few things on the professional front that are coming out. So I'm working on me, loving me, appreciating me. Yay. And I know I be watching the Friday Night Key every single week. And instead of liquor, cousin Jenelle, I'm drinking water because, as Mugler dolls know, when it's game time, and we have to be really serious. And like, as fun as everything is, we must respect the business front. And mind, body, and soul is also really important to me right now. So the slenderization process is back in effect because I've gained so much weight since COVID. So yeah.
She's doing a great job as an influencer. Any water companies, any bottled water companies that want Tamar to be the spokesperson, please email me at.
See, there you go. Sponsorship endorsement inquiries, please.
Right.
I love it. Roxy, give me something good.
So good news is our next guest is actually going to be coming in soon. So I'm super excited. So you won't have to see my avatar anymore, but give him a second.
We like your avatar.
Right. Oh, thanks. That's so nice. But yeah, that's the update on the update.
The Muglers are just doing such a good job. I mean, I love the fact of hearing so much more. Every Mugler that I get to meet, I get to know more about the house, about the family that you guys have created. And I love the fact that each one of you have your own individual platforms, and yet together the iconic porcelain house. I didn't hear that. What happened?
Unc, you're frozen.
Oh no.
But all together, to be the iconic porcelain house of the Miyake Muglers, it is just, I love learning more and meeting all my family and my cousins and my extended cousins and stuff like that. It's so good. And congratulations on the show and working the films and just growing even as an influencer. That is amazing. See, people didn't know. They only knew that it was just 5 Muglers.
I'm not. He's late.
There's more than 5. There's more than
way more than 5, child.
She's giving a
baby.
So I do want to have a question, because tonight we are talking about episode 7. So this episode tonight is about an era of opulence. Ooh-wee. And this one is a really interesting episode because the Superior House from last function had the ability to choose one of the 5 elements of Vogue to be presented by each house. Now, I understand the 5 elements. So we have hand performance, duck walk, spins and dips, floor performances, and there's one more.
Wow.
Catwalk, duck walk, hand performance.
Catwalk! It's so close, man. Y'all gonna have to.
You kind of cut out.
I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna get my A. I'm gonna get my A. So my question that I want to ask everyone is that for the Muglers, if you had the choice to pick first, which one of those elements your house would shine on, what would it be? And which one of those 5 elements do you think would be the biggest challenge to the house and why?
Yes, cousin.
Yes, absolutely, Tamar. Go ahead.
To be honest, I don't think any of the elements would be a problem for our house.
Yeah, same on.
I might in a cocky way, but these Muglers Vogue. And to Vogue, you must be able to execute all 5 with precision and like exceed that because it's television, right? So if you cannot slay every single one, you should go home or not be on the show. So we have the right girls on the show.
Sometimes I wish it was just 5.
Yeah, so send us all of them. We can do all of them.
I'll just
like even when we got sloth, it's just like you can give me any deadly sin, and the Miyake Muglers will figure it out.
Mm-hmm. I was nervous about that sloth, and yet precision. That is the one word that I say every week for this house. Precision. It is just so professional and on point, and like any dart that you throw at them, it just does not phase the Muglers, and I love that. So if you had one that you would choose out of all of them, which one would you say, you know what, hands down, this is the first one I would choose for the group that is on the show?
I would have chose hands.
Oh, okay.
I would have chose hands because it can show how disciplined and intricate and the fine like nuances that we are able to pay attention to as a house. There are fine details in a house. You know, that's what we pay attention to the small things. So I think hands was the best option.
Interesting. Now, Mark, for you, I'm very interested. What would you think would be the like?
You got an A-.
What would you think? What would you pick if you had the choice across the board? What would you pick first for the Muglers to shine?
Mark.
Mark? Cuckoo.
What happened to Mark? Wow.
Houston.
He waving his hand.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes. We got you now.
Go ahead.
So within the 5 elements of Vogue, any one of them you think might be a challenge? I got one I would choose. I would choose one. And as a personal preference, I would be like, ooh, I do not want that. Which one would you choose? Mark, is your computer on Wi-Fi?
Tap into the Wi-Fi. Okay, we're gonna have to come back tomorrow.
No problem. Okay, so Roxy, what would you think?
Okay, so I've actually been privy to a Mugler boot camp and catwalks, like
they ate that slow choreography.
Come on, Mark. Exactly. Like catwalk, I feel like if they like Arturo would have done an amazing job with choreographing just catwalk. It didn't even need anything else. He would have ate that. But I think that as long as they didn't get ductwork, because that's difficult on the knees and the joints and the hips.
That's what I would say. I'm too old for ductwork. I ain't got them knees. I don't got them.
That's not even
I'll get down, but I ain't getting back up.
Right.
I'm just saying. That ductwork, ooh, that is not for me. But now I'm intrigued because you said there's a Mugler boot camp.
Oh, I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I thought I heard it. Oh, because we was listening to Veil to the house. And that's what Friday nights, for the Muglers is. That's what y'all do. Y'all lift the veil. And that's what the Friday night key is, because y'all lifting the veil for the public to see what's going on.
Y'all
not the skirt, honey.
Listen. Y'all already know what it gives, like in terms of precision when it comes to the house. So that doesn't happen without a ton of practice. So we Arturo works the girls.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine the type of work that's even put in for the episodes, for each function. I could only imagine the amount of work that you will put in when it comes to other, balls on a regular. And this is a ballroom house. You walk balls. And speaking of ballroom house, we also now, let me open up the gates because we have Kamari and known for runway and Vogue. Fam, where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's going on? Is my camera clear? Do I need like a little something extra?
Can y'all?
No, you
Did you
all
want to do it?
good.
I don't
We happy to
understand
have
what's
you to the
going on.
party. Got a little sip already. Okay, I like it already. You are forgiven for the tardiness. Okay, I love it. I love it. So we're just getting into it. So for tonight's episode, we are talking about the 5 elements of Vogue. And my question to you is, which element would you handpick first? And which element do you think would be the greatest challenge for the house?
For the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I do think that the Muglers could do anything.
Come
We're
on.
everything. That's first. We do have the best. That's interesting. The first element for the house, I think that I would say hand performance. I think that a lot of houses have challenges doing hand performance routines
Mm-hmm.
and making it like over the top.
Mm-hmm.
But we can catch those intricate hand performance pieces, that make it the next level. We've done a lot of productions where we have some intricate hand performance kind of situations,
Mm-hmm.
We did a good job. And I think that I would say also catwalk. I would say catwalk. And I think that because catwalk is the element that gets you from the back of the runway to the front. And when you do that element, you have to entertain the crowd, because if I'm looking at 2 people at the back of the runway and they're battling and they're both catwalking, I'm going to look at who's eating it for me. I'm not going to look at the person that's not doing a good job. And so when we do our productions as a house, we definitely make sure that we bring that fire to that. Okay.
So what I love is that you wasn't even in that conversation before, and all of you are on such one accord that exactly what you said has already been said. And I love that the house altogether, your strengths and you play to it. And I think that's what's really even seen in the ballroom outside of Legendary. And in ballroom, you can tell when a Mugler steps on that runway, it is well thought out, well prepared, and get ready to shut down because the effects is going to be like, what? So I'm ready. So we're gonna watch which element was chosen for the house, and we're gonna see just how they handled this one. Mm-hmm. They thought they was coming for the Muglers. Muglers gonna show them. I bet you. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Right, the drag.
It's Rose lashes
with
for
the
me.
judges. This is the House of Mugler.
Yay!
Boom, boom, boom. Ha. Da-ga-da. Reeve. Ka-ta. Our all-house challenge this week was given to us by the house of Tishi, and we have gotten hands.
Damn Tishis.
I'm definitely feeling the pressure because the challenge is going to be keeping it clean and keeping it in sync, because if anyone messes up, you will see it. And hands. And down. 5, 6, 7, and top, 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 top. The house of Tishis is my #1 threat. Tishis, watch your backs.
Oh.
You can't mess up at all.
Yep.
We're going to push the gender boundaries.
Right, well, that's part of it, right?
That
I
is
want you
part
to
of it.
gender bend.
Love it.
I'm the queen, and this is my court.
My shirt's gonna be more masculine.
More masculine.
More masculine.
As a Black woman of trans experience, I had to go through bending my own gender to be the person that I know I've always been. When I finally decided to tell my mother that I wanted to transition, it was really difficult for her to understand. And it's not an easy journey for anyone to transition. You can lose everything. Those trials and tribulations led me to Ballroom.
Yes.
I've been blessed
Ooh,
to
look at
have
that snatch
found
waist.
another family that accepts me fully for who I am.
Now, ladies, to become a queen, you must understand that a pretty face and a pretty smile will only last a little while. Shoulders back, hands out, heads up. Now
Yes.
rise.
Come on, bitch!
Yes.
She swears she knows everything. She's not even my mother. And remember, I always know best.
Yay! You see that stupid move? I love it.
What is going on?
Woo! Do you see that bitch? Come on, Marie. Come on.
I'm so tired of her. What does she know anyway? Here she comes, back in line.
Over. Yes, smiling. Look at the faces. Yes. Yes.
Come on, Tati! Oh, man. It's like it's freezing on me. I can't see.
Well done. And that's how you become a queen.
Yes! Yes!
This is what I want to see. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That was nasty.
Look at them. Look at all the respect y'all getting from all the other houses. They know. They know what time it is. They know.
I don't want to be shady, you know.
You better tell the truth and shame the devil.
But tonight has been a rough night, okay? But this is the performance to beat.
I don't want to see this shit. Turn this shit off. There you go.
With that being
Can't stand that
said,
heat. Ooh. They don't want that smoke.
Naomi.
The hand performance was impeccable. Like, I'm getting chills. So thank you guys. This was Ballroom. I am so proud of this performance. Only thing that you guys was missing was me, but I know, Toro.
Me too, bro.
Tonight,
Me
you
too.
gave us what we've been waiting for. You stepped out of your comfort zone, and we didn't see no second guessing in your face. You were here like I am the queen.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
give you guys a 10.
Adam.
Wow, that was, first of all, like the chair bustle combination, that's brilliant. I don't know who came up with that, but it was so good. The musicality was there. This is the best choreography I've seen of the night, for sure. It was like solid.
I agree.
So I also am going to give you a 10.
Yes, ma'am, I'm overrun with emotions because this is what we came to Legendary. Yes.
Come on.
Period.
You better say it, Law.
Everything was on Miyake Mugler.
Bam!
What needed to be done.
That's right.
What's Tati moonwalking?
Hashtag that.
And for that, I also will give you a 10.
You better go ahead and give it. Give it.
Gross is it?
Look at that.
It was so good. And for the shave, these clean faces, these beautiful clean
Oh
faces
my
that we have
God. I didn't even recognize
You
at all.
committed. I
Did
really
not recognize.
appreciate
I've been growing my
that.
beard for 6 years.
To giving me Westwood. I love the way that you look. Also, Arturo, I feel as though you've almost been too generous throughout this competition with letting your children shine, and I feel like tonight you really shone. I couldn't
Did
take
it.
my eyes off you. 10, 10,
Yes.
10, 10, 10.
Yes! Yes, with the split. Yes, with
We
the
will
split.
remember this performance.
Well, beautiful ladies of Mugler, you did fabulous with our first 10 across the board.
Yes.
You may now leave the runway, ladies. Thank you so much, Mugler. With a perfect score of 50, that was the house of Miyake Mugler.
You better go ahead and say it. You better say that first place. Okay.
We did what needed to be done at the end of the day.
That was great.
Yeah.
I loved
On
it.
that note, are you
Uh-huh.
guys ready to see the next category?
Tens across the board, hunty. Yes. Now tell me, what did you think about what the Miyake Muglers just did on that stage? Tell me.
If I can jump in,
Please.
I just want to say that Mugler did what Mugler does, and that set the standards in the ballroom. Make it difficult for everybody else to catch up. That's what we did. And what I was saying with that hand performance is a challenging element to do an in-sync performance to, and they once again just mastered it the way that we do. And I am floored. And then the effects, taking it, pushing the next
level.
You know what's so funny?
Yes. What?
Oh,
that was funny. Okay, that was so funny that the camera just couldn't take it. It was just too much.
They was too much.
I'll jump in.
Can they handle it?
We wait for Uncle Mark to get back. I just want to say that, like, that brought tears. When I watched it earlier today, it brought tears to my eyes. I'm just like, honestly speaking, like, are you guys kidding me? Like, honestly, and because I know them as well personally. Obviously, those are my brothers and sisters, or sister and brothers, and to see them all like, okay, in drag, like on national television, that takes a leap of faith. Let's start there, because to be on television and openly gay is one thing. But then to be quote unquote sissified and be what we're told not to be, our parents' deepest, darkest fear, and for them to step out of their comfort zone, like, Arturo, you grew your beard for 6 years for a reason, because you like it. For you to shave it off is an example to your kids. It's an example to me of what we need to do with the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
It's so Mugler. It was just so Mugler. It makes no sense to me. So I'm so happy.
Incredible. And tell me, like, school me. How
Can y'all
hard
hear me?
is it? Yes. How hard is it to do performance in drag? How, like, with everything? How difficult?
Topanga? Cuckoo!
You saw my post today?
Hello?
You know what it is? Here's the thing. When
Wait. Jenelle, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jenelle.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
Uncle, we can hear you.
Hello.
We gonna get
Can
it.
y'all
Right?
hear me?
We gonna get it.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You coming through? Yes. Come through. Come on. It's the storm. I know it is.
Okay.
The storm
I
that's
don't
passing over.
know what's going on, but this is wearing me thin.
I got you now. We can hear you. We can hear you clear if you want to.
So what I was saying is that.
Uh-huh.
So what I was saying is that what Mugler just did is what they've been doing the whole. It's like where y'all can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
So that performance was amazing. I mean, it was like perfection to the core. But that's what, like Kamari said, that's what Mugler is. I feel like we were giving that choreography wise throughout the whole season, but I think we were lacking like that energy that they know they had. Because if you look at every pretty much every episode, the choreography was always on point. Like it was always bringing you the technique and precision, like you said. But for this one, it was just like, you know what, we got to give them that extra push or whatever. And it was just like mind blowing. Like they carried on. I was just like,
okay, now you are legendary for best
wow.
dress. Tell me what you think, your thoughts was about the wardrobe that was put together, because in the past there has been some questionable moments on that stage, Tati's pants and you know.
Hello?
We gonna get it. I believe. Ooh. Thought we had it. I thought we was cool. I thought we was over the hill.
Kamari, did you want to finish your answer?
Oh yeah, I'll chime back in.
Yes. So yeah, how difficult? Yes.
Yeah, in regards to your question around how difficult it is to, and you said perform in drag, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The thing is that when you're a cis woman or when you're a transgender woman, I want to say that the process of preparing to walk the ball is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a drag, you're a masculine figure, and you have to transition your whole being, right? Like you have to go to the beginning. So you have to, there's so much that you have to build on and add and add and add. So when you're performing and you already had that on you, and then you have to take your performance to the next level as well, right? And so it can be challenging. So I commend them because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. And you know, I'm sure Tamar has seen Topanga.
Performing or doing anything in drag, especially because as a drag, you don't live like this, right? You don't live with all these layers on. So now coming from being a man and transitioning into like being giving woman teas, like it's hot up under this wig. God forbid the sun is shining. God forbid there's no breeze. And then the tuck on top of that, it's too much sometimes.
So there are challenges, yes.
I did not even recognize Prince. I was sitting there. I had to stop and freeze frame and like who it, because literally, right? Arturo, he had the mindset that he wanted to really push the boundaries for masculine and feminine within these costumes, and I think they did such an amazing job. Face flawless. Wardrobe flawless, even Tati, like it. One thing I will always say about the Muglers, you have this ability to perform in one voice, where others, I think there was disconnect because everyone was trying to shine their own specific styles in the overall performance. But I think that's what makes the Muglers really stand out, is because the choreography that Arturo puts on the group, it is one voice. And so where they thought they would throw in the Muglers,
Maybe we turned it.
What?
Lemonade, darling.
What?
We wrote the book.
What? Every single thing, just like you said, Tamar, every single thing. Like it was just, I had chills watching it. I have to watch it over and over again just to see. And every single time I was noticing something else, even to the point, like at first, like the shimmy that Tati did. And then I didn't even realize Arturo does it exactly. Like it is so precise. I'm like, how? What kind of rehearsals? What kind of crazy, boot camp you guys probably had to go through to get to that level? And I was like, Miyake Mugler.
Right.
Exactly.
I also find that we take what the judges say as well and apply it so well. Like the sportsmanship and like the professionalism. I think they take our professionalism for being cold.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we kind of had an aha moment and realized that we need to connect more with those that are watching versus just executing excellence. That's great, but we need to actually show more of who we are as a family. And I think that comes across so much better now. It's like more clear that language is translating through our choreography, and like every dancer knew exactly what to do. And you can see each individual dancer giving their own pizzazz and seasoning or saison on like what they're doing. And it's just so together. It's so ballroom. It's so artistic. It's so perfect. It's like grand prize. It's perfect. Like, I don't know.
Yes. And just when you think, and I was intrigued on the placement of the Muglers and the entire function, because Muglers was the 5th house to perform. They had to do hand performance, and then the next category was hand performance. And I was just like, what is about to happen next? Because now where the judges were, like Megan tried to be cute and was like, I'm not trying to throw no shade, but no, go ahead and throw the shade. You know what you wanted to say. You wanted to say, now the battle has begun. Now the function has begun. Everybody else, you were sleeping and dreaming about what nail polish to change to. And now y'all done woke up because Mugler's done opulent stay way all across that runway. I'm sorry,
Right.
I'm excited. I get excited when I see goodness. And that was a lot of goodness. Okay.
I can see your fan spinning. That means we're good.
Child, I don't know what's going on.
Yay!
Honey. I'm like, what is going on?
So before we get to the next category, I want to give you the floor, Mark, to really talk about Best Dressed and talk about the effects that was given tonight. Give me your stance on that for your house.
They look great. It was very Vivienne Westwood, like the effects. I got like a Vivienne Westwood vibe. You know, that plaid. They played on that plaid. They look really. I mean, it was great. I mean, I loved it. I like that each effect. Well, I'm not going to call them effects. Each look was tailored to the person's body and their personality. Like, you know, a Toro effect was very the queen mother, like, you know, everything it just fits each other and they look good. It wasn't sloppy. Like, I mean, it was perfection. I mean, I can't. That's the word. The only word I can say was perfection.
I almost rolled off the bed when they stood up and they bustles was still on the chairs. I said, what? Because you can't really move all the weight.
I'm about to get on my
phone. Have that. And then I was like, oh, y'all ain't, they wasn't ready for that smoke. They wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I was like, what? Crazy. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the second category, which was hand performance. Now, this is interesting because so one person from each house had to stand on a light box and do hand performance. And I thought even beforehand, I knew that this would be challenging because within hand performance, a lot of it is focused in the front, but now with a light box, all of this space is now taken away. So now I was really intrigued to see how would those who excel at that would use the full space. And this is what we got. Come on, Roxy, let's go to the tape.
Identity.
I like that.
In the first round, house members must get their 10s in order to continue in the category. If a judge does not like what they see, they can chop and eliminate the house member from performing. In our second round, every house member who received their 10s will make it to the hand performance showdown and will perform until one person remains and earns their house 10 points. This is a winner takes all category.
Blue is my favorite color, so mine is purple.
Blue, you better eat it, bitch.
Purple better chew it.
DJ Mike Q, pump the beat. Judges get into the hand performance of the colored boxes. Get into all.
That green is really well lit, though.
It is hand performance.
Crazy.
All right,
I had no idea who was who.
This is a cute contest. No shit. I don't even know which one to see.
Let's go, Green. Your time starts
This is the most fairest judgment right here.
It is, really.
Or is it? Because we're going to see who gets chopped.
Hands. Judges your scores. 10, 10, 10. It's a chop.
Like,
Thank you.
really, bro?
How we gonna discuss
Let's go.
people who don't even know what hand performance is?
In the blue box. Give me your hands. Is your hands telling me a story?
Okay.
Judges.
There's a story.
Sorry, blue box. You've been dismissed. In the red box.
Okay, bitch.
Okay.
Give me your hands.
Crazy energy. Gotta give it crazy energy.
Hands. Ow. Judges your scores. 10, 10s across the board. Red box, that pose.
Okay.
Yellow box, your time starts now. Hands.
Like I say, orchestrating.
Hands, performance.
Okay.
Judges, I need your score.
Okay.
10,
What they
10,
do? What they do?
10.
10.
Megan. It's a chop. Yellow box.
Megan, really?
Megan. How you get 4 10s, 1 chop?
Find Meg the Stallion.
I ain't gonna lie.
I love it.
Really?
Category is closed. Now it's round 2, the showdown. Judges, point to the one you want to stay. The House member with majority of the votes will be the winner of this category. All hands on deck.
Only
Green
2.
boxes, let's go. Judges, get into the red box.
Okay.
Get into the purple box. This is hand performance, darling. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Hand performance.
That's interesting. Would they run a hand battle this long before calling for votes?
One for the red box. Megan.
Really long hand battle.
Is it purple? Is it red? 2 for the red box. Leomi. 3 for the red box. We already know. Grand prize will be the red purple box.
There they have it.
My bitch was in there working, bitch. I don't know who
Red box, can you please reveal yourself and join me on this stage? Who's in the red box? Who's in the red box?
Well deserved. Well deserved.
I
love him.
I know
Well
we know that
deserved.
Balenciaga's in the red
Great
box, so let's
energy.
see who is in every other
Great
box.
energy.
So all the houses, please reveal yourself. Ow, okay. Okay.
Glass for the yellow box.
I disagree. Some of those chops were not deserved.
Lord, I don't agree with you most of the time, but today you ain't lying.
Well, Khalik, you served it. You ate the hand performance category, and guess what you did? You earned your house 10 points.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's get into it because I got questions. Okay. Now I'm still learning. I got my pen and my pad. You think I'm lying? I'm not. Pen, pad. Okay. So tell me, hand performance. What you saw in tonight's episode, is that full hand performance?
You can start, Tamar.
Oh, even Vogue. Okay. I think there was a bit of a disconnect though when it comes to production and the actual hand performance. It's kind of a little bit more difficult. Maybe they could have chosen a completely different category in Ballroom instead of hand performance to be a silhouette challenge, only because Like they're still in their effects from the last category, like the last category, and like it's difficult. It's just so difficult. Like sometimes even when there's nothing that they're behind, and you're at a ball that's might not be lit the best, some girls have to wear white gloves. You can really get into what they're doing. Like it's challenging. And like suppose they had Tonka back there. You know what I'm saying? And there's no shade to Tonka. Love him down. Celebrate all shapes and sizes and everything. But it would have been a difficult challenge for somebody like that, even if he did have hands. You know what I'm saying? So the blue box, the production people fucked that up. Girl, get your lighting together.
Yeah, it was dim. It was very dim. It was very dim.
I think that was an interesting challenge. I think that silhouettes would have been nice with Ovah, because Ovah's poses, right, where people had to create some type of like image onto the fabric that was in front of them for someone to see something. Whereas, not tooting my horn, but you know, my favorite element is hands. If I were to do something like this, right, you're not going to catch that through the silhouette, right, where that's telling a story. Whereas just being big and making shapes, that's not hands, that's arm control. It's a whole different category, right? So there were times when I said, okay, he's pulling the thing out of the mouth. That's hands. But you have to do so much of that. You know what I mean? You have to have the props, the this and the that, you know.
Because there's no depth perception either. Like,
yes.
Zero depth perception. It's just like if you're back here, it makes no difference. If you're here, it makes no difference. Like,
absolutely. And so, you know, it was an interesting concept. I did like the concept. You know what I would have loved? When you said like a light, I was thinking that there were clear boxes with lights, because when your hands hit lights, it makes the hands so much more over the top. So I thought the lights was going to be reflected on the hands. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see that. But they were actually enclosed behind, and it was silhouettes, which it would have been just everything to see Ovah and to see different poses in that. That would have been sickening. Like, that would have been sickening. And that's what it is. And a twirl looked over.
Yes. And speaking of that, was something that you said, Tamar, too, was talking about the they didn't have time to even, you know, because they were still in their effects. And I felt that with Arturo's headpiece, lost all of that airspace to really take, because what Arturo did well, especially, was that opening where the trick was the one-handed, you know, hand effect, and then went into the front. And I think he noticed anything that happened in front of him was lost. And then and then it was just trying to think of how to use literally just these two boxes up top, because the hair was taking all of the effect.
Right.
And
I would have had to take that wig off and started shaking it, little toys and stuff coming out.
Yeah.
That would have saw that.
Yeah.
But no,
let's talk about the shade.
I think they utilized what they had to, you know, make the best out of it. That's what I think a lot of people did very good in that challenge, actually.
And Khalik is amazing. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, congratulations to Khalik. Congratulations to Khalik.
Great performance. But let's get into the shade of it all. So there was 4 10s and then 1 chop. I'm gonna sit there. Okay, you know what? Because I've walked less than 5 balls, so I can't really, you know, really speak of like, oh, I done did functions and I done. No, I have not. I've done less than 5. So, and I think 2 of them were Kiki. So when you have a judge that is not a mainstay in the ballroom, how does it feel when you receive a chop? Like, you can't contest it, or you just gotta accept the chop, right? I don't know how that, because I didn't understand the chop.
I'm running down on that hoe.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I'm running down on a bitch.
Because it wasn't even a hard chop; it was a hesitated one. It was and then, and I was like, I didn't understand it, because it could have been, handled in the battle. If that was the intro, that could have been fleshed out in the battle.
For me, I don't get chopped often, thank God. So I was chopped once because they thought I was painted as a butch queen, transforming into a drag, but I was not painted. It's called skincare and water. But I was brought back, thank God. But I think Meg Thee Stallion not being a part of Ballroom, not coming from a Ballroom background, just like yourself, even though you have been to a few functions, she still has the right as a judge to say what she doesn't like, and that's what makes Ballroom interesting, is sometimes you don't ever find out why somebody chopped you. You just don't know. I ask her. I love to know. I want to know. I want to do better. I'm always interested in doing better. And even when I judge balls here in Canada, I encourage the girls to come and ask me why I chopped you, so that way next time you're out here, you won't be embarrassed, because I'm judged to a very high standard. I cannot bring less than exceptional shit to the runway, or they will check me, right? And across the world, Muglers for some reason are judged on a different standard. But in this particular instance, we were all blind, right? Didn't know who Arturo was, but it's okay, Meg. It's okay.
Well, listen, for me, it's a TV show. It's a reality show.
Right.
A lot of times, all of them judges, including Naomi, who's Ballroom, do things for television purposes. A lot of times, 99.9% of the time, Megan don't know what the fuck she's talking about. But she feels as though this is what they want to see. You know what I'm saying? So she wants to be the bitch by doing the villain, the Kenya Moore, the Nene in the situation, because she doesn't even know what the fuck she's talking about. She's saying Ballroom is about sex. Oh, what she say? Ballroom is about, what she say, sex or sex appeal or something like that's far from the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with her, she does things just basically for television purposes, giving more of the oomph and ratings purposes, so to be talked about, to be more relevant, things like that. Secure her another seat for next season if it be another next season. That's how I feel for her, because we all know she don't know what the hell she's talking about. She don't know what she's looking at. Anytime. Let me shut up.
No, I completely agree with you, because even on tonight's guest judge was Adam Lambert, and I felt he was chopping. I'm like, I know you don't know what you're chopping, because there is no way, if you understand. I'll put it this way. So I appreciate the purity of Ballroom, where in like intros for opening of categories, even if there is something that needs to be explained after those intros of each house or 007s that come on for the opening of a category, a judge might get on the mic and say and clarify what the category is and re-instruct if they're noticing that judges are not adhering to category, but then allowing, at least in the battle, now show me what we asked for. And that's what we really don't have here on Legendary, is someone who's really stopping and clarifying, no, this is the category, this is what we're judging on. And then now making room, as you even said, Tamar, you were dismissed, but then you were obviously brought back because somebody
advocated for me.
Correct.
That's where your house parents come in. My father went up straight up there and said, he's not painted. He'll wipe his face. He's not painted. Boom, wipe my face. Sorry.
Your skin is flawless. You're going to have me drinking lemon water forever. I'm like, I could stare at you all night. But yes, and that's what I love about that. And I think that's where I have the questions within, because I'm like, is that Ballroom? And so a lot of the viewers, though, that watch the show are not Ballroom. These are new, they're the virgins of the world. They've never been to a ballroom, never been to a Kiki function. Some of them have never, their only image of Ballroom is the TV show Pose. And then they equate that to this, not really knowing Ballroom. So for that, tell me what your thoughts of ballroom when it comes to this.
I'd like to talk about that question and tie to the previous one.
Yes.
I'm like in the middle of Tamar and Mark with non-ballroom participants judging, because even in the ballroom scene, when someone is ballroom and judges, an example is if I were to walk best dressed and Mark chopped me, because Mark is best dressed, I understand that he understands what the category is calling for. And so I value his chop, opposed to someone who has never walked the category, never supported somebody walking that category, never guided somebody in that category, doesn't really have that extensive experience in the category. So for someone to completely not be a part of the ballroom scene, right, to come in chop or to, you know, vote however they're voting, it is a big question mark, because it's like, what are you comparing what you see in front of you to, right? Are you comparing to your experience in ballroom that you don't have, right? And so that's it's like a no-no for me. I don't think that I would put individuals on a panel to judge something so huge, right? That means so much to us in our space, that doesn't have that type of experience. However, in certain cases, I don't mind. And the only cases that I don't mind, and I'm going to revert back to the POCC ball, was at a POCC ball, what they would do is right before each category, the commentator would explain what the category is. So that way those new individuals, as you said, there's a lot of individuals out there that are watching this for the first time. And they're going to think that I can't do that because he chopped them and he must know what he's talking about. And so it's like a window into that world. And so when they were at the POCC ball, the commentator would say, this is realness. What you are looking at is a everyday boy getting in drag, and he looks just like the regular girls walking down the block. Now the judge knows what to look for too. Does it make sense? And so that's not what happened in that case. And so that makes it really weird. So it's like, so to answer your second question, how do these people that are sitting on the other side of that window looking into the ballroom scene kind of guide themselves in this new space where they're looking at individuals who are not ballroom, make these big decisions, and now they're trying to learn from it, right? So
I wanted to piggyback off that. Just what you're saying. If you look, a lot of people on Facebook, that's where the majority of ballroom takes place, like social media wise. People are like, oh, well, guys, stop looking so deep into it. It's a show. It's a TV show. It's not a ball. It's a TV show. And I'm like, well, if you look at other dance competitions or other competitions on television, like American Idol, you will have industry people that know the industry. You'll have a singer. You'll have a producer. You'll have a record label executive. You'll have something, right? If you look at Dancing with the Stars, you might have, 3 or 4 actual ballroom experienced dancers, and you'll have a celebrity judge like Ellen DeGeneres who cannot dance. Right? But here, in a space where we are professionals at what we do, in a culture that we built, you have Jamila there, looking beautiful with her bangs, but we remember seeing her sitting at the back of balls trying to understand what's going on, doing her research. Right, but not enough to actually be a part of ballroom, and the majority of us really did not even know who she was. We all not saying taking away her roses or anything. I'm sure she's great at what she does and everything, highly decorated and appreciated, but we don't know you. So you're not fab to us because you're not a part of our community at all.
I appreciate Jamila scoring more than I appreciate Megan the Law.
All I was gonna conclude and say is we need to have one celebrity judge, one person that's not from ballroom to be a judge. To only have Laomi there with extensive knowledge on what is actually going on, it's unfair because you're judging ballroom people, not other people, not just regular dancers learning what things are. They're all specialists. They're all exceptional in actual ballroom. That's where I have a little bit of an issue. There's not enough ballroom representation on that panel to actually tell someone you need to give more hands, you need to duck walk more. Oh, that wasn't enough of selling face. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm not going to tell you how to rap or construct a song. Jamila, I'm not going to tell you how to deliver a script or act or whatever you do. Law, I'm not going to tell you how to dress. But also,
We did not dress ourselves. Stop talking about how the girls are dressed because if Swiper was there, it'd be a different story. But we don't have Swiper here, darling. We don't have our seamstresses and effect makers here. We have who you hired. So don't talk to me as in them, about what we're wearing. Or worry about Arturo adjusting his effect over and over. He didn't sew it. He's not the seamstress.
Yeah.
But also I think that the panels,
but at the end of the day, they were right. He did bring attention to it, and he made himself look uncomfortable because he just kept doing like this the whole time. If anything, he should have just let it rise up and just kept on going.
No, absolutely not. Because after the show was done, you still have your life.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, he's competing. It's not like he regularly walk around with his shirt all the way up here like that. So it's
uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. Like you,
and they gave me a crop top, and I'm not crop top ready. And I told them, I told you my sizes. One, the crop top was too small, and so I'm there doing this entire episode, and I cannot help it but to pull this shit down. Why is my stomach out when I'm not stomach out ready?
Well, you on a show that's being critiqued and judged. We are in Ballroom. We get judged. If I was to walk out in for best dress and I'm pulling my shirt doing all like this the whole time I'm battling, it's going to go against me, and I know this. So I'm just saying, in this case, he was in a competition being judged. It would have, in a industry perspective, it would have been more fluent for him just to let it rise up. That's just like if a model walking down the runway and their shoe broke. They're not going to keep on. They're going to, what Naomi Campbell did, but she walked to her tippy toes. You know what I'm saying? You improvise. So I mean, I kind of agree with them when they were saying he was pulling on and making himself attention to it. And as far as them red pants Tati had on, that was a fucking shamble, and that was they tried that. But those red pants.
We love
you. Ain't lying.
But let me tell you what surprised me though, y'all, Jenelle and y'all. What surprised me is this though. I'm not sure how well you know Tati, Jenelle, but Tati is a fashionable individual.
Oh yes.
She's a very fashionable individual. She knows her shit. So I was taken back that she even allowed them to put her in those fucking pants. That was my surprise. I'm like, Tati, why does she like Tati be in her shit? Like Dior.
We don't really know the story.
And I was surprised. I'm like, Tati.
We love you, Tati.
Yeah, we love you, Daphne. I was dagging that shit.
I just think that with the judges' situations, to tie back into that, that they should be rotating ballroom judges, like instead of a large panel of like these industry people. I'm guessing just to get the whatever communities to participate in the show. I think that they should be rotating, ballroom individuals. David should be judging, as they had Tyra up there. They should have, their Justin fan.
Yeah.
Roxy in the background, girl. You hate that.
But here's the thing. With Blair's. Even when we have a moment, we turn it into a moment. Now I'm about to get me a pair of Tati's pants. I need a pair now.
Okay.
Just to break it up.
Honey.
The next function, do it.
We had this conversation. I said HBO was trying to get public known figures to bring the crowd. But let's be clear. The collective that watched this show is either women or gay men. So if you're looking to bring in a crowd by using these celebrities, that's not, it really didn't make sense. I suggest, my thought process, I was like, if they wanted known individuals that's in the industry, then why not utilize known industry individuals in Ballroom? Despite what people may think, Milan could have been one of the guest judges. He has a huge following. The world knows him. He knows Ballroom.
Yusuf,
our overall father, Yusuf, knows him everywhere. He's on Page 6. He's on Fashion Mob, everywhere. They could have utilized him. Like Tokyo, they could have utilized her. Like, it was plenty of people that they could have put on that show that would have brought the crowd, the collective, the views to Legendary without using inexperienced individuals to make a sham of our scene.
Not a sham, child. Also, I would
Let 'em
also
use you.
let's bring our own creative teams.
Megan has no reason to be on that show whatsoever. Law, they use Law for his fashion thing. He's an amazing stylist. And all of that, but he has zero knowledge of ballroom. Like, I mean, if
Law, my friend, this episode because this is the first time he said to the house that y'all did what needed to be done. And we needed that because if he gave us a strong 8 one more again, I was gonna be like, all right, come see me in the parking lot.
Right. Listen, I don't know what a strong 8 is. But I still said I was going to see his ass again. I was going to ask him, what is a strong 8-bit?
Right. So I know if I was heard, but I would like to see in future seasons, if God willing, the show is able to get more. I would like to see each house have their own creative team, as in, like, bring your effect maker, get them a check. Go get the fabric for the girls, get them sewing machines, get them some helpers to sew things together so it's done in time. But we have girls that do that for us, so you don't have to tell us things are not fitting properly, or like we don't have to rely on having tacky looks that we would never see in ballroom. The girls don't come out that tacky in ballroom, I promise you.
I like that idea. That's a great idea.
It would be brilliant and give people love. Like, we don't need to see a Mr. Mujak on there anymore. Thankful for what he's done. I've seen him on many other shows as well, since the Pussycat Dolls and everything like that. But I would like to see more ballroom, more people of color behind the scenes as well, doing the good work that we already do to make ballroom fab.
We have ballroom individuals that are able to, if not implement this idea, at least bring it to the forefront. But it's just a matter of them doing it in a way that that they'll give other people opportunities. They're presenting it in a manner for their people to get it, and if their people don't get it, then they don't want to recommend this person, that person, and so that thought process gets shut down, which is unfortunate because we're all in the same community, and regardless of what, when this show is over with, you have to come back to this community you're a part of. But so I don't doubt that has been brought up, but I'm gonna give it a strong 8. Right. That it was probably shot down because they didn't want to use their individuals. So instead of proposing other individuals, they didn't advocate more.
That's why I be having questions when I watch stuff. I'm like, that is not how they do it at the functions now. That is not, no. But I'm glad to hear. Like, I think these are great ideas. I think I would love, Tamar, I would love to see it where it was more effect driven, and just like those design shows where they're, designing furniture on Ellen's show on HBO Max, or doing topiary for Martha Stewart's stuff. Like, to have that space to really create full effects, that would be. Oh, I'd just be.
And I would love to see more than just Vogue too. Like, what about the Bazaar Girls? That shit is so incredible to see. And if you give them a budget, it's like you want to put it in a museum sometimes. Like, that should be over. So I don't know.
But I think the key element, to mainstream bringing ballroom to the forefront is entertainment, and nothing entertains these outsiders more than seeing them, seeing the individuals Vogue. It's mesmerizing to them. They're like in a trance when they see the individuals voguing and being able to do the things that they do and perform in the way they perform and just execute certain things and the different elements of Vogue. They're mesmerized by that. So they don't particularly probably, I'm sure it was brought to them when they were drafting out the shows and different that it's more to ballroom than just Vogue. But because you can tell it is because they elevated this season from last season with a different, even in the productions, they how they featured the face at that one, and then between that All American, but so you can clearly tell that they have been getting educated. But
I think it's a process, and the more that we've been watching Ballroom showcase itself on television, the more it's shown more of what Ballroom is. So like watching this show, who would have thought that we'd see a show where they're actually showing runway in the face, right? You know, that's not the highlights of Ballroom or what outsiders think of when they see Ballroom. And so I do commend them for showcasing other categories. I think that it's going to slowly but surely show more, but you know, you got to keep the Voguing in there because, you know, that what I will always say is that every single category that you see in Ballroom except Voguing, you can see outside of Ballroom. You can see Face on the magazine, you can see runway on the show, you can see Rivers walking down the block, but you only got one place. You can see best dressed when you go to Montell. But Voguing, the only place you'll see Voguing is at a ball. And that's why people get so excited to see Voguing when they go to a ball. And so Voguing is such an essential part of the ballroom scene. You can't have a television show about ballroom and not have Voguing there. Because everything that you'll see, you can see somewhere else. I could turn the channel and see a runway show. You know what I mean? And so you do keep that piece in there. But you do want to say, you know, I'm about commercial, runway, and make that commercial kind of long. You know what I'm saying? So that you can showcase more categories. So I really do commend Legendary for showing more than just Voguing because other shows aren't doing. You know, and so it's going to be the next show that shows even more. You know, that process in getting us to where everyone can get shown. Like I don't think has there been Realness on Legendary yet, but you know, how do you showcase Realness in an entertaining fashion, right, on television, right, where television everything is the energy is so heightened up that. You know, that it reads through the television. So how do you showcase Realness through that? And
I think it would be an awful category to have on television because I'll be damned. I would be damned. Let me just leave it.
He was so close. He was so close to getting it. You got to read. I get it. I felt it in my spirit.
Could you imagine a day like where Adam Lambert says one chop to me? Girl, first of all, I'm gonna give you a Simone, girl. I'm going to go off on you. Okay, there's absolutely no way.
And so cut out the show.
Yeah, and then also that would teeter out into the streets. I feel like people would be like, one shot for your Realness. Like, no.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that we should Realness girls can go on Pose, scripted series, do those kind of things. But no.
Right.
No.
See?
Some things must be kept sacred.
Well, I would like to be the one to congratulate the house of Miyake Mugler for finally being the superior house. Yes, it is about time from literally battling to stay in the competition to now holding the trophy, which I didn't even know that it lights up. So it was nice to know that. But that is incredible. And I think that really speaks to your house about being perseverance.
Perseverance.
So how does that feel to go through that transition from voguing down to stay in and to now be a superior house in this competition?
Let me just talk about it for a minute?
Sure.
Because Malik Vogue, baby. Malik.
Come on.
For Malik Curry for 10 seasons ahead.
Say it again. Say it again.
He carried for 10 seasons ahead. Like that battle is going to be a battle to remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Heart and soul was left on that. Clean. The dip with a dip. That leg was just up, like it was like boop. I said, how you do it? You know what kind of core action? Matter of fact, tonight's and overall performance tonight, that core action to be in that backward state to do hands.
Yes.
What?
Can we just take a moment for that? We need a moment just to acknowledge Malik up there doing hands with the abs going in drag.
Flipping into it. Into it. Yeah.
And can we also give one other moment to a twirl catwalking on a table?
In a skirt?
In a skirt with a hairpiece on?
Right.
That little skippy step, the skippity scoopity boop.
Yeah,
Skippity boop. Yes.
For me, it's incredible to see Malik up there. One, he's one of our younger members. If people don't know, now you know. Malik is under 25, I believe. I believe he's still under 25, if not around 25. And like, that's incredible to have that kind of poise, that kind of discipline, and to carry that way. Like, if you YouTube or look up Malik Miyake Mugler, he's one of the most energetic, and it's so contagious. It's disgusting. Like, you see him from the back of the runway, and you can see the ripple effect of his energy going through the crowd, and you can literally see it like radiating. And everyone, you can't help but he's so big. He's such a big performer, and like I was talking to him throughout the legendary process and like dealing with like the pandemic and family and losing family members and stuff like that. You put that shit on the floor, which is what we're taught. Put all the energy, all that passion, all your anger, your joy, your rage into your craft and let it speak for itself. And he spoke so loudly for everyone, I feel, in the house when he was in the bottom and did what needed to be done. And I know for a fact that they will never let us go to the bottom again, because unlike the Orichis, no shade to them, we don't like to live down there. We don't, it's very rare to find us down there.
Yeah, we don't live. And another thing with Malik, and we were talking about this in Chicago, me and Kamari, and I was saying how it's like a generation thing. And I said, Kamari, I know it feels good to see that you took your break, you did what you need to do, you put your house on the map. You know, you represented the house very well, you and Mel and Diego, you know, for a twist, and you guys can like really sit back and see what you guys have done and what you the trend that you have set. Because the twist is Mel carried. If Mel wasn't there to carry, Kamari carried. Then Diego came along after them and carried. And then Rayshawn, when he was, you know, whenever he was ready to do it, carried. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the Twisters have always had a standard. But like you said, for him to be so disciplined and young, it's almost like he's like hungry, like very, very hungry, and just determined, like, this is what I have to, I need this, like I want it. And it just shows in his performance, like in Chicago when he battled Jenelle, like somebody was saying that they didn't really see something about one of the other Twisters, Boosie, whatever. They didn't know that, you know, see the carrying on and things like that. And I explained to them, I said, you may have seen in one or two clips, I said, but in Chicago, Boosie and Malik battled at least 20 motherfuckers.
Right.
It was so many of them. It was a two-way stage. Each side had a minimum of 15 people, Kamari?
Possibly, yeah.
It was so many people, and it's so funny, like Tamar, it was so many of them. And like Tamar said, Muglers get judged so differently because the standard that we set for ourselves. You know, we don't conform to the masses. You know what I'm saying? We're not ass kissers. We're not you know, falling behind the cliques and things like that. Mugler does. We set our own standard. We do our own thing, whether the scene likes us or not. We come to the balls that we want to come to, and if we don't come to them, we're not coming. You know, all of those things have been a cause and effect on our house. But the problem is that, not our problem, the problem that the scene has, that it never broke us. It never deteriorated us. It never, you know, deferred us. We still stood for the porcelain individuals that we are. And they don't like that. And it showed in Chicago. They were doing everything in their power to not want the Boosie and Malik to win their battles. But the old saying goes, talent prevails. Them two individuals got on that stage and they carried. And as bad as some people wanted to vote over them, they couldn't, because it was going to be too evident that they could not take it, because they were voguing down. And I was just so happy to see that. And not even the win, just the energy and just the moment that they were making, because they were carrying.
Right.
To piggyback off what Mark said around how we are judged on a different standard, to kind of bring it back to what you were saying, with them being in the bottom and then going to the top. I feel like, and I think a lot of people agree, it's just so interesting that so many people that are not ballroom have been inboxing me on social media because they know that I'm a Mugler, and they'll say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that the Muglers are not the number one house or the superior house this week." And I'm like, when we step out on there, we could be 20. You know what I mean? But they put such a high pedestal on everything that we do, so we get judged completely different from the way other houses get judged. And so it doesn't surprise me that what the people saw to be a 15, we were getting strong 8s, right? That doesn't surprise me. So when I think that the House of Mugler on the show had a moment to just say, you know what, let's rethink what we're doing. You know what I mean? We definitely brought Mugler to the floor, because as Tamar said earlier, we're professional. You give us a category, we're gonna execute it. We're not doing sob stories. We're not doing
that.
My dog died, so let me win legendary. We're not doing that. We don't do that. We give in. You want to see you want to see Vogue, that's what we're going to bring to you. We're going to bring it on 100 the way that we do. We came here to do that, and that's it. We don't do all the other stuff, right? And so, they want to see more than that. And, that's not our thing. That's not we came here to turn it. That's it.
Right.
But now we have to say, you know what? Let's do what they want. Let's bring it to what they want, and we're going to do what we want as well, but we're going to do what we want first. You know what I mean? That's what brought Mugler to the Superior House, because they showed more of that, right? And so I think that answers your question.
It does. It does. And now, Final 4. Wow.
Is Final 4 or is it Final 3? Is it
Final 4?
4. 4. And this is incredible to see the house, the iconic porcelain house.
Iconic international porcelain house.
You're right. That's right. Correct me. I take correction. Thank you. International. That's it. Yep. And to see this, it's just like, it's almost like a storybook. It's like a fairy tale, and and that is the story, and that is the triumphant victory, is the just persevering through it, not taking it. And it's almost like every shot that was thrown, that energy was used on the stage. Exactly what you were saying about Malik. Yep, exactly. But using whatever it is that you're going to, putting it on the stage, and now, and that's where you cry. That's where you sweat it out. That's where you show and prove. And that is what the Miyake Mugler is all about. I love y'all. Yay! Yes. So we're going to wrap this episode up. So I'm going to ask for any parting words, anything that you like to say to the house members, well wishes to those who are battling out, that are still in competition for the grand prize. Please, now is your time to shine.
I want to get it out before I forget it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go first. I just want to say Arturo, Diego, Tati, Malik, and Prince. There's many members in this house, and everyone is not, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but everyone's deserving to be on that stage. But even with that being said, I'm so happy that it's you guys showcasing Mugler is. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. And as you guys are on that stage, we are there with you. We're rooting for you. We are cheering you on. We're so proud of the way that you are representing the house and showcasing your talents. I think there was a perfect team. I think that you guys are doing a phenomenal job. I also want to say, I don't want to get emotional, but I want to say that I think that Grams would be so proud. Grams Mugler, one of the founders of the house who passed on. He is watching down on you guys. He's at every ball. He is plucking and reading these girls. That's fine. Grams was real quick to say, excuse you, this Mugler table, you gotta go. And so his presence, his energy, and all of that, all of that is with you guys throughout this process. And I'm so sure that he is so happy, so honored, as we are honored that he was a part of this house. And we're all, as we're watching this show, we are honored to be Muglers again for another reason, you know. And so we appreciate you. We love you guys.
I just want to say
one more thing. I'm sorry. One more thing. And shout out to Topanga, period, for this episode.
Oh, shade inspired by.
Baby, first of all, those noses. What nose? It was no noses. They took all the noses off the episode. Everybody's nose was cinched. Their nose was like this. There was no noses.
Topanga. I seen that post, Topanga. I saw, but I just really want to say too in closing that I am super duper proud of the house. It's just one of them things where you think you can't be even more proud to be in the house, and then boom, something else happens, and it's like, this is why. I mean, this is why I'm so happy to be here. I love the representation, like Kamari said. We couldn't pick the better team. We have seasoned ballroom members. We have new ballroom members. We have seasoned house members. Then we have new individuals, as Tamar said, like So Young. So it's an eclectic group of individuals representing not only the house but ballroom, and it's so good to see. And just it's just overwhelming, and it's like exhilarating and anxious and everything like that all at once. But I mean, whatever the case may be, I'm super proud of them. I'm very happy for them. And I just wish them the best. And I'm just, like he said, I know Graham's he got his little fan honey with his legs crossed. And he like, that's my baby. I could just see him there. So, we all in the house is really proud of you guys. You guys represented the house very, very well. If y'all had to do it, I'm sure if had to do it all over again and pick you guys wouldn't be a problem. You guys did not disappoint us in any kind of way. Whatever the outcome is, we are definitely proud of you guys and we love you guys.
I will say I'm going to try and make it kind of quick. I'm going to hope without crying because I'm a crier. One time I was in, I think, Detroit or Chicago, and I was passing by, I think it was Jack. And Jack was like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." He's like, "What house are you in?" And he's like, "Wait, you gotta be a Mugler." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "Oh, I knew it." And then we continued the conversation, but I didn't really understand at that point what that meant. And it makes me emotional to think, because a lot of us don't get this recognition from our family, don't get the love from where we call home. We don't get all of that. And to find identity in the house of Mugler and to find that DNA that I feel attached to, I just beam with pride every time I see my name attached with Miyake Mugler, because it means something to me and it means something to the world. The standards that are set are across the board internationally. Like one time I was in Chicago going to a function, a day function, and I was just dressed regular sneakers, jeans, and a t-shirt. And Uncle Mark, we were getting ready to go, getting out the door. Uncle Mark was like, "Tamar, are you ready to go?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Niece, have to talk to you." I said, "Yeah, what's up?" "You can't go just like that."
I knew it.
I said, "What?" He said, "Pretty girl, but you need to look Mugler. Go and change your outfit. Go into my suitcase, like the fashionista he is, picks out pieces, puts them together, and says, 'Here, niece.'" I said, "Okay." And I was suited, booted, thigh-high boot, mini dress, snatch at the waist. And those are the standards that I appreciate from Mugler, because it's not just about how you feel about yourself. You are representing a brand and a family that has been established from years before you. I've never met Grams, but he sounds like my favorite kind of a leader, to be honest. He knows what he says. He's straight.
Grams love a doll.
I could imagine.
Love a doll. He would have loved it.
Like, read me, let me know how to become the best version of myself. And I see that in Tati, Prince, Malik, Arturo, and Diego. I see it in them, and I see family. I see all the lessons I've been taught, all the standards of Mugler, the bylaws. Shout out to the bylaws because they matter. And it makes me feel so rich in spirit to be able to be a part of that family, which exceeds excellence. We devour excellence. And even when we are taken down, 10 times out of 10, it was never our fault. You mad. So I love that I can be as proud as I am because we have the credentials to prove why we are where we are and why we do what we do. So with that being said,
you know what's really quick, Jenelle? That is if we were getting ready for the day party, she was like, Uncle Mark, it's just a day party. We're just gonna I said, listen, we are Muglers. You think it's just a day party to the rest of them? But guess what? Everybody's always watching us. And when we got there, everybody was watching us. Like, everybody's over there looking, want to take pictures and everything like that. She was like, Uncle Mark, I'm glad you made me change my clothes because I would have been so mad. She didn't look bad, but she was like to go grocery shop. She had a little shorts, some little sneakers, and a shirt tie around the waist. I'm like, we're gonna exaggerate this look right here. You can still be comfortable, but we're gonna give it that twist because guess what? We're gonna be on everybody's face from Ballroom in this little day party situation, and we were. It was videos and pictures of us floating everywhere.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I absolutely love is the standard of excellence that comes for the iconic international porcelain house of the Miyake Muglers. And for all you guys right now, you make sure that you follow across the board because we already know that everybody's watching and you can even watch more content. Follow these amazing, talented Muglers here as they keep going on in their journey, as the Muglers keep going on in their journey, even on HBO Max, because we're back for the final 4 next episode, and we're gonna see you on the next week Friday Night Key. So I hope to see you again, family, because I'm gonna be bringing my plate and my fork and my spoon. We eating next time, okay, cousins? So make sure y'all cooking it up for me, okay? See you later.